Coming up on Colonial Sports Center, it's a show of firsts. Stay tuned. We'll have them all for you.
Not first for the men's hockey team, though they are still winning. We'll have all the details for you.
And speaking of first, head coach John Banizak talks to us about his first NCAA Division I FCS win. Keep it here. Welcome back to another unhealthy edition of Colonial Sports Center. Yes, I'm sick again.
I'm still healthy. Well, I'm going strong.
Good for you. At least one of us is. We have a huge show for you. A ton of action took place, and we're going to start right now. The old adage states, all good things must come to an end. Can the opposite be that be said, as in all bad things must come to an end eventually? Well, RMU football came into the game against CCSU last Saturday, 0-6, and they were looking to find their first win on the year.
Always gets worse before it gets better.
At Joe Walton Stadium, start off the scoring. Hunter Kalecki from 39 yards away, 3-3 on a blustery day in Moon Township. And, well, it's Sean Payton and the Saints all over again. Onside kick by Kalecki. RMU recovers. 3-3 at the end of the first quarter.
Cali's very own Kalecki, who's very cold right now with this
I wish I was in California. Kalecki hits a 42-yarder to take the lead, 6-3. Now Nick St. Giacomo to Scott Benzing for 40 yards, his only catch. To the red zone they go. It only takes one sometimes. Now Rob Holloman, easy as pie.
From 10-6, right?
CC, yeah, that's one of 5 brothers. Now next drive, Holloman parts the Red Sea, 22 yards to Pater. 17-6, CCSU. Now Ed Groth sets for the punt. Luke Mueller, no relation to Chris Mueller, commits the crime, roughing the kicker. That's 15 yards, fella. And there might have been some embellishment.
Yikes.
Leg on leg.
Happens.
RMU gets the ball back. Abbott hits Luke Santafonte. Hands of glue.
Sticky, they call him.
I see why now. Later on that drive, Abbott on 4th down, tracked and sacked by Asia Bowling, and the turnover. That was 4th down with a minute left in the first half. No score at the end. CCSU 17-6 at the half. Now in the first play of the second half, Rob Holloman hits the hole, and he is let loose. Eat a Snickers bar, Rob. You're angry when you're hungry. 45 yards.
Angry.
Angry when you're hungry.
It's angry.
That's what I said.
It's both.
Toss play to Brendan Litton. The backup move over Holloman. Job security just went down. 24-6 CCSU on the 24-yard touchdown run. Now 3 minutes later, Ramses Owens, our own running back, with the big game, but he comes up limping. The right leg would not return. Ryan Thermal, the senior, would replace him, and you can see Owens in a lot of pain. They didn't miss him. Here's the big man Thermal running, yes, with speed. Jerome Bettis in Moon Township to the 18. Next, Abbott. The home run to Lamica, incomplete. Well, that's what they call on the field.
Take a closer look.
Ball was caught, foot's down. Might have had a call there, but the no instant replay. St. Giacomo with the deep ball and picked Andy Smagira. Put him on offense, coach. He can catch the ball too. 24-9 CCSU going into the fourth quarter, and this is where things get fun. 3rd and 23. Off of a 15-yard penalty, Abbott finds Nick Lamica for the score. He was a linebacker at season start. 24-16 CCSU. Now punt returner extraordinaire Antoine Eddy. Preseason All-American. He'll do some shifty moves. Fumbles the ball, but it was rolled down by the referee. RMU keeps control. 1st down. 4th down. Santafonte wanted it. He does not drop the ball. 1st down Colonials. They keep the drive going. 9:26 remaining. Yeah, Sticky comes up with it. Down 8. A field goal. 5 minutes to go. A 4th down. On the 5. They kick it. 24-19 CCSU. Next drive. St. Giacomo under pressure. Fumble. RMU falls on it. Forrest Mason turns the tide. Play action. On the 8, Abbott to Mitchell with the score.
We'll be seeing that play a little bit later.
We just might. 25-24 RMU. Well, they're going to go for the extra point.
Oh, and this one too.
You just might. 2-point conversion. Wait, where's Abbott going? He wants it. Dwayne Mitchell to Derek Abbott, the quarterback, to convert the 2-point conversion. 27-24 RMU. They take the lead. Trying to come back. Back up. Quinn Fleeting throws a pick to David Taylor. You thought the game would be over. Well, special teams trouble. The punt is blocked. Down 3 points with 2 minutes to go at the 20. Sounds easy, doesn't it? All they had to do is hit the easy button. 4 false starts in under 1 minute. Fleeting to Holloman. He's going to go down. And Robert Morris, because of the hot Joe Walton crowd, comes out with the first one on the year and first for John Banizak. And you can see him, they lifted him up, and what a moment it was. at Joe Walton. After scoring 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, the Colonials finally won their first game of the year and first under head coach John Banaszak. RMU outscored and outgained the Blue Devils by accumulating 386 yards of total offense. 112 of those were receiving yards by Nick Lambica, yes, the former linebacker. I think the NEC may have awarded him for his efforts on offense.
You know, he just might have gotten that award. 3 football players have been honored by the NEC this week. Cali's own Hunter Kalegi is the NEC Special Teams Player of the Week. Kalegi went 4 for 4 on field goal attempts, which is a brand new school record. Nick Lambica is NEC Rookie of the Week thanks to 8 catches, 112 receiving yards, a 25-yard catch, and 1 touchdown. Forrest Mason is the NEC Defensive Player of the Week. Against CCSU, he had 8 tackles, 5 of which were solo. He also sacked the Blue Devils quarterback, knocked the ball loose, and recovered it afterwards.
And remember, we'll be talking to head coach John Banaszak later on in the show on his very first FCS win. We're about to debut a first here on Colonial Sports Center. Do you ever wonder how the game is won? Well, scoring points helps. Well, John Madden once said that. But it's the plays behind the scores is what makes a difference. Here's Chris Mueller with offensive coordinator Darren Hicks on the X's and O's of Saturday's ultimate victory.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. This is the first installment of Inside the Film Room. I'm Chris Mueller, joined here by offensive coordinator Darren Hicks. The Colonials, fresh off a 27-24 come-from-behind win over Central Connecticut State last weekend. Coach, offense erased an 18-point deficit in the second half. Probably their best performance of the year. Just talk about what positives you saw from the unit.
Oh, absolutely. I thought, as a unit, I thought we played our best game. Being down 18 in the fourth quarter and being able to come back from that kind of deficit. Really, I thought we grew up as an offense.
Your quarterback, Derek Abbott, 18-28 on the day for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns, but the most important stat of the day might have been 0 turnovers. He really managed the game well for you guys. What did you see out of him?
No question. Great point. Managing the game, and that's what we asked the quarterback to be able to do, and that's what we want him to do in this system. He doesn't have to be superhuman, doesn't have to do a ton of great things. He needs to go out there and play consistent, and I thought he played his most consistent game.
The first play we're going to break down is the 25-yard strike. It came in the fourth quarter. Derek Abbott to Nick Lambica. It was a 3rd and 23 play after a personal foul brought you guys back to the CCSU 25-yard line. And if you want to take it from there, what was the systematic play calling?
Really, when you get something like that, you start to think about players and where can we go and who can make a play for us at that time. And Nick had done a great job so far in that game. So in that point, in the long yardage situation, we really thought that his athletic ability and his jumping ability and even his speed would be able to, work on that corner that he was. He slipped the guy inside, went deep. Derek put a perfect ball on him. Timing and everything was just great. We were able to slip it in right before the safety got there, for the touch.
And then Derek Abbott completes a beautiful slant pass to none other but the senior captain, Dwayne Mitchell, who comes through, with that score. Just tell me a little bit about that, what you saw from him.
Same type of situation. You think maybe more players than you do plays in those type of situations. We get down there, we have the opportunity. I think it might have been a second down, and that's something that we'd kind of seen a little bit earlier in the game that we might get them to bite on a little bit of play action. We used to really try to draw this safety in. We put a little bit of a play action on it. We pulled the guard to really sell run action on this, which drew the backers in right now. And as soon as this action started, the free safety took a step down. We ran Thurm across. We got a little bit of a play fake with that, and it was an easy 1-2-3 in a slant. Got the football right there to Mitch in a nice little alley. Once that safety went down, he put a great move on that corner. We got 6 and got a nice little eruption in the crowd. So.
Right, and so it's a 25-24 game at this point. There's 2 options for you. You can either elect to kick and still have the possibility of CCSU coming back and taking the lead, or you do what a lot of people weren't expecting on the play, a trick play.
It's actually something we've been working on since spring. You try to get a play in that situation that maybe is a little bit different, maybe a little bit outside the realm of what you do, in your regular offense. We wanted to, nothing's guaranteed, but we wanted to really put our best foot forward to be able to get that extra 2 points so we could get the 3-point lead. We're going to direct snap that football right to Thurm. Okay, so the ball gets snapped, Thurm takes off. Like at this point, you know, everybody's thinking direct snap. Thurm's guy is going to run this thing, run action, and as all this is happening, we've got Mitch coming back the other way. So now you get the element of direct snap goes into a reverse. Okay, on this, and 2 elements are happening on the other side, and these are really critical. The backside receiver on this thing, one, is running across the field, going across the formation, kind of trying to draw as much attention to himself as he can, really. And we got that man, so man, this guy's got the ball. You know, he might get the throw. What's going to happen on this thing? So he draws a lot of attention. And while that's happening on this, as all clears out, Derek takes himself gets himself to the end zone. Mitch continues to come around after the reverse. In this particular case, we got lucky on it, really. They bring a guy off the edge, and Mitch just kind of stops it, tosses the ball up to Derek, and in a very, very fortunate way, we're able to get that 2 points. And
Right. Well, thank you very much, Coach Hicks.
My pleasure.
And look for the Colonials as they take on Bryant this weekend up in Rhode Island. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m.
Thank you, Coach Hicks, and thank you very much, Chris, for that display. The volleyball team leashed the Terriers of St. Francis Brooklyn last Saturday. The Colonials won in 3 sets at the Soul Center. RMU is now 31-1 against St. Francis and have won the last 30 matches against them. A few other records were set at this game. Haley?
You got it, John. 4 RMU volleyball players are chipping away at the record book's rankings at RMU. Now, if you look at your screen, you'll see Melissa Bogart is sixth in digs, that's a tough word to say, and is 99 away from the top 5. Hannah Hoffman is 3rd in assists. She needs 182 to move to 2nd place. Becky J is 2nd in block assists and needs only 6 more to claim the top spot. Erica Robb is 9th in digs and is the 9th player to reach 1,000 altogether, and all 4 of those girls are seniors.
Wow. Aside from the men's basketball preseason poll that just came out a few days ago, what do we have coming up next?
We have soccer of the men's and women's variety, and as we talked about earlier, we're going to have some hockey for you guys.
Did the men's hockey team lose yet?
Not yet. Knock on wood.
We'll have it for you right here on Colonial Sports Center. Please come back. Why don't you?
Please.
Please.
Whoa.
Please. Oh, okay.
These boys are my heroes. They come every week to spend time with my children.
At Robert Morris University, every student is expected to reach out to others.
They can teach them something no one else can.
Wisconsin.
They're role models to the children, and homework comes way before sports. Their grades have improved, and their lives are just a bit richer.
Okay.
What they do for my kids is truly wonderful.
Change someone's life. It changes yours forever. Robert Morris University.
I call them my lifeline.
Of course, I am here with Romo. How are you doing today, Romo? Great. All right, so Romo, just a few questions. How do you think the game is going right now for the Colonials? All right, on top of that, what do you think about the play of Paul Jones and his defense just demolishing Morgan State right now? All right, well, you heard it here first. Romo with his insight to the game. Back to you guys.
Be sure to tune in to Colonial Sports Center every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. on RMUCentralMedia.com and Channel 98 around the Moon Township area.
And welcome back. Coming off another successful season, the NEC recognized the men's basketball team as 3rd in the NEC preseason coaches poll. In front of them are St. Francis Brooklyn and Central Connecticut State. Last year's defending champions, Mount St. Mary's, is placed 5th. And by the way, I still have not seen the Kentucky game yet.
What are you waiting for?
I don't know.
The men's hockey team began their home-and-home series at home against Niagara and continued their winning streak. The Colonials dominated 5-2. 9 different Colonials registered a point on the evening. Scott Jacklin scored the go-ahead goal with 7 minutes remaining in the third period, and the team never looked back. Freshman Brady Ferguson and sophomore John Ray also each had their first career goals in the contest.
Nobody can stop the men's hockey team, as my good friend Jamal Sessoms would say, choo-choo! They're a train that keeps on rolling. He said that a lot during the football game. After defeating the Purple Eagles 4-1, they are now 4-0 on the year. Cody Wideout, Matt Cope, and Scott Jacklin, as well as Greg Gibson, were the ticklers of the twine Saturday night in the victory.
After 2 consecutive sweeps, the Colonials are edging their way closer and closer to having a number next to their name in the national rankings. RMU is currently in the receiving votes category with 67. To crack the top 20, they need only 19 more points. Notable teams that the Colonials are ahead of right now are Notre Dame, Bowling Green, Ohio State, and Yale.
After an abysmal start on the season, Army women's soccer looked to avenge their early 2014 woes against the LIU Blackbirds. As we head over to the North Athletic Complex, we'll tell you all about it. LIU Brooklyn Blackbirds, excuse me. Keisha back with a perfect lead pass to Aaron Ritzer. It's going to go wide, and that was a consistent play throughout the game. Greer Monahan, long chip pass to Madison Kozlowski, and she puts it above the keeper. And speaking of keepers, we all know Becky Schonecker struts her stuff with the fine stop. Lauren Sokowski near the end of the first goes for the header. Very nicely defended by the Blackbirds. 1-0. Robert Morris, Francesca Springer looking for the dagger, goes wide. Another try. Christy Hamilton goes wide again. Backnell wants a shot. This one doesn't go wide, but doing off the goal post. And here's a great save by Schonecker, just because she's a friend of the show. Why not? Luke Gunton-Jones. Blackbirds could tie. Like I said, it's going to go wide. They're all going wide. Kozlowski, she wants a second goal. Good save. Jessica Montrose. Montrose is a great rock band, by the way. Last effort, Jen Spicer goes for the corner, and like I said, it goes wide. Just to make sure, Schonecker gobbles it up. 1-0. Robert Morris, after Springer's shot, gets saved by Montrose. Madison Kozlowski's goal buried the Blackbirds and finally earned their first Northeast Conference victory. Becky Schonecker once again posted the shutout with 5 saves for her third goose egg of the year.
The men's soccer team couldn't pull ahead of St. Francis Brooklyn on Sunday. Instead, they settled for a draw. Let's check it out. Here we go. Nico Brett, in a tangled mess, wins the ball and chips it to Speedy Williams. And Williams sends it a missile, but a defender knocks it out of the way. Bruce Cullen was waiting for that one.
Apparently Speedy's one of the slowest people on the team.
Really?
Yep.
So it's like an oxymoron or whatever?
Yes.
You see that bicycle kick, by the way? That was insane. First goal for the Terriers. Harry O'Dell weaves through the defenders and takes a shot, but it is instead blocked by Brendan Alfrey. 10 saves.
Freshman on the team, a transfer from Grove City.
Good for him. Cullen on the free kick. Wound it up, launched it, straight past Jack Banks. Watch this, 2 consecutive shots on Alfrey, and he blocks both of them. Not one more. Good luck.
He didn't need to save that one.
And one more Colonial shot before we head to double overtime.
Free soccer.
Yeah. A bang for your buck. Brett with the ball. Shoots it to Jared Latchford. Sends it soaring, but unfortunately not into the net. Bruce Cullen scored the only Colonial goal in the contest with 3 minutes remaining in the game. Speedy Williams was on the assist and also had 2 shots. Goalkeeper Brendan Alfrey had 10 saves, and RMU will travel to Sacred Heart for its last road game of the season next Sunday.
Do you know what the Colonials needed right there?
What?
They needed a little more Doug McQuaid. Coming up next, John Banaszak sits with Haley Sawyer to talk about his first victory as an NCAA FCS Division I coach.
Of course, I am here with Romo. How are you doing today, Romo? Great. All right, so Romo, just a few questions. How do you think the game is going right now for the Colonials? All right, on top of that, what do you think about the play of Paul Jones and his defense just demolishing Morgan State right now? All right, well, you heard it here first. Romo with his insight to the game. Back to you guys.
Be sure to tune in to Colonial Sports Center every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. on RMUCentralMedia.com and Channel 98 around the Moon Township area.
Romo, have you downloaded the app?
Roma, have you seen this app?
Hey, have you seen the app yet? No? All right, put it down. I'll show you what you can do. All you have to do is install it, and it'll open up for you. My favorite part of it is the police blotter. Check this out. When you click into it, you're going to go right to the top left, and as soon as you click on it, everything will be there that you need, so you can stay safe.
Download the RMU Century Media app on the App Store. Romo likes it, and so will you.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. We're joined now by RMU football head coach John Banasak. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. So, beginning of the season, you guys obviously weren't doing so hot. What were you telling the team to kind of keep their morale up?
Well, we told them an awful lot of things, trying to get them to understand the level of play. We're a very young football team. A lot of freshmen and redshirt freshmen, sophomores playing. Having a young football team, you got to build on these things, and I still have confidence in them. I still believe we're going to be a good football team, and they know how I feel about them. But the biggest thing is that they've got to feel that way. They've got to feel that they can go out and play well early in a ball game, that they don't always have to fight their way back.
So now that you've won a game against CCSU, how have you seen the character change, their behavior change at practice, on the field, off the field, in the locker room?
Well, obviously after the game there was a tremendous amount of excitement and enthusiasm for the win, and they deserve to be that excited about it because they've gone through an awful lot in the first 7 weeks of the season. And I think it finally occurred to them that they couldn't fight their way back, that they're good enough and tough enough to be able to do that, to overcome adversity and the things that went wrong in that ball game. And after the first 58 seconds, our defense shut Central Connecticut out the rest of the game, and our offense scored 21 points to win that game. Special teams contributed to the win. We had an onside kick early in the first half that led to 3 points, and then we had a big punt return by Antoine Eddy of 31 yards to set up another score in the fourth quarter.
You talked a little bit about adversity. I know there were a few rough penalties, like roughing the quarterback, roughing the punter. Did that kind of get you guys in a rut? How did you overcome that?
Well, it certainly gets me in a tizzy. Okay. And I just thought that the two calls, the roughing a quarterback was, it's a judgment call, and the official didn't take into account that the quarterback was carrying out a run fake, and he was going down the line of scrimmage on that run fake, where if he would have been a passer or throwing the ball at the time, I can give them a little bit of leeway on that, but I think that I was right in my argument with the official that he was carrying out his fake, and my defender, is allowed to take one step and hit the quarterback.
Switching gears to some of the good things that happened in that game, there were a lot of standout players who had standout games. I mean, we had Ryan Thermo, Derek Abbott, Nick Lamica, Senafani, who is Sticky, as I understand is his name. Can you pick just one player who really stood out to you?
No, I really can't pick one player. In in talking with the kids the whole week, I talked about the need for all of our players to make plays. And, you know, it's your responsibility as a player on the field to make a play. And, you know, once we have more plays being made by more players, things are going to start working out in our favor.
What are some of the things you're looking to either duplicate or change going into Bryant, who is ranked number 25, actually?
We really have focused on narrowing our game plan so that it's understandable to our kids, and that there isn't any hesitation on our players' part on the field, because once you start thinking on the football field, you're going to be a step or two behind. The game of football is a reactionary game, and that's the way we have to play. And I think that narrowing what we're going to do offensively and defensively in our game plan is going to work out pretty good for us.
Okay. Well, I hope it works out too. I have good luck this Saturday.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, you bet.
Make sure you stick around for after the break. We'll have some primetime plays for you.
Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
I'm starving. What's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Franz!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblums, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you.
Bobby? Susie?
Don't worry, that's just the power of the art!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
You ever think about buying a bigger place? Just waiting for a visit from the credit fairy. There is no credit fairy. How else will I get a better credit score? Look, you keep your credit card balances low and only open a new card if you really need it. No fairy?
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
Yes, ready.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
The primetime plays are back, and we don't have enough time for 5 and 4, so
Picked the
number 3.
3 best.
Derek Abbott, go deep, big fella. Nick Lamica tears down the house. He scores the touchdown.
Number 2, more football because it was so awesome.
There's Dwayne Mitchell.
Ray Mitchell with the catch.
You heard me yelling.
We saw how that play went down earlier.
And there's another one. The what wizardry, Derek Abbott. Go to Hogwarts, my friend. 2-point conversion, good. Thermal to Mitchell to Abbott.
And Gadia Leviosa. That's a spell, right?
Sure. Anyway, let's take a look at what's coming up next in Colonial Athletics. And it was a wonderful weekend last weekend, so let's hope we can let's hope they can repeat it. RMU tied in the NEC, 4th place. If they win out, Sacred Heart loses twice, they win the Northeast Conference at Bryant on Saturday.
Men's and women's hockey both days. Northeastern. Sidney Crosby's sister is the goalie for Northeastern, fun fact. Men's hockey is going against Army, which is always a tough physical game. Should be good.
And moving on to Sunday, volleyball looks to avenge their loss, their first of the NEC, to try and extend their record to 8-1. And hopefully they can and break more records in the process. And that is your Colonials week ahead in sports. And next week, I think we'll have a fantastic show. If RMU defeats Bryant, number 25 in the country in the FCS,
that would be one heck of an upset.
What 2 weeks could be better for the football team than how they started? As far
I don't know.
Thanks for the answer. As far as hockey goes, they're still undefeated. They'll look to continue that, and Sidney Crosby's sister, maybe.
Yep, in net. Maybe Crosby will be at the Island.
Well, I don't know. I think they're on the road this weekend. Either way, we'll see you all next week. Please take care. Drive home safely from wherever you are, and no texting while driving.
X the text.